The core committee on the Naga Peace talks, headed by Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio, is awaiting a response from the centre, particularly Peace interlocutor AK Mishra, on the specific proposals that it had made last month for a smooth progress of the dialogue process, leading to the possible signing of the Naga Peace agreement. Well-informed sources told Northeast Live that the core committee members, including Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio and UDA Chairman T.R. Zeliang and others, had met Union Home Minister Amit Shah back on the 18th of May and placed a specific proposal saying that the centre should come up with a single draft out of the commitments made to the NSC&IM by previous interlocutor R.N. Ravi and the current one, AK Mishra. According to these sources, R.N. Ravi had rejected the NSC&IM's demand for use of the Naga flag for statutory purposes, but at the same time had agreed to let the Nagas use it for any pan-Naga ho-ho events. This point was apparently not included by present interlocutor AK Mishra in the formulation papers, the sources claimed. At one stage, Ravi had apparently agreed to regard the Naga statute or the Yezabo as the Naga basic law and propose its incorporation into the Indian constitution to deal with issues like Naga customary rights and other traditional matters. The NSC&IM had apparently rejected these proposals even then, and on the 31st of May this year, the NSC&IM National Assembly had adopted a unanimous resolution saying that there can be no solution without New Delhi agreeing to their demand for a separate Naga flag and constitution. And most of these points were covered by the October 31st, 2019, when there were signals emanating from New Delhi that the Naga talks have actually concluded. And after the May 31st NSC&IM National Assembly resolution, the core committee has briefed NADA convener Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma on the situation with the hope that he would take a lead in conveying to New Delhi the points that have been raised. On the whole, talks can resume now only after the core committee and the NSC&IM receives a response from New Delhi. All right, and to give us more details regarding this, I'm being joined now live from our newsroom by our editor-in-chief, Wasbir Hussain. Well, Wasbir, is any communication underway between the Government of India as well as the core committee on the Naga political issues? And what inputs do you have regarding this, Wasbir?
Yes, Raunak, after the 31st May declaration by the NSC&IM National Assembly that there can be no solution without the Government of India conceding its demand for a flag and constitution, things appeared to have reached a deadlock. Now, everybody is asking the question, what now? How can this deadlock be broken? How can this deadlock be overcome? So, that is the question in everybody's mind. Now, Northeast Live has understood from reliable sources, well-informed sources, that the core committee on the Naga Peace talks, headed by Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio, had made some concrete proposals to Union Home Minister Amit Shah as well as the Peace interlocutor AK Mishra during their visit in the middle of last month. Now, let me tell you that a high-level core committee team led by Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio, then accompanied by the UDA, United Democratic Alliance Chairman T.R. Zeliang and others, had arrived in New Delhi on the 16th of May. The same day, they had met the NSC&IM leadership. On the 17th of May, this core committee had a meeting with the NNPG delegation. On the 18th of May, they had met Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and the next day, that is on the 19th of May, they had called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So, this was the backdrop in which the core committee is now saying that they had placed concrete proposals during that meeting with the interlocutor AK Mishra as well as to Home Minister Amit Shah. Now, what is the concrete proposal that the core committee had placed? Now, the core committee had told both interlocutor AK Mishra as well as Union Home Minister Amit Shah that all commitments made by the previous interlocutor R.N. Ravi and the present interlocutor AK Mishra must be brought down to one piece of paper. That means what the core committee is basically saying, that all the commitments given by the previous interlocutor R.N. Ravi and the present interlocutor AK Mishra during the various rounds of discussions that they had with the NSC&IM must be put down in a paper as one single draft. and that should be given to the NSA and IM. This is also called by some as the formulation papers given from time to time, exchanged from time to time between the interlocutors and the NSA and IM negotiators. Now, what the core committee is saying that please put down all the commitments made by the two interlocutors as a single draft and give it back to the NSA and IM for the NSA and IM to deliberate and discuss and then revert back with their response. Now, they are saying that this is the only way that the talks can move forward, and that is why the ball is clearly in the court of the central government. But after what has happened after the May 31 NSA and IM resolution has further complicated the matter. Now, therefore, it is all the more important for New Delhi to respond. Now, in one of the formulation papers, it was said the NSA and IM sources close to NSA and IM is claiming that at that point in time, RN Ravi had responded to the NSA and IM demand for a flag. The NSA and IM had demanded that the flag should be allowed to be used as in statutory offices. RN Savi said no, the flag cannot be used as a statutory symbol in offices, but it can be used for cultural purposes in all pan-Naga Ho-Ho events. That was what RN Ravi had said. That means in some way RN Ravi apparently had agreed to the use of the flag. Now, as far as the constitution is concerned, there are again sources close to NSA and IM are saying that the RN Ravi had come to consider the Naga statute or the Yazabo as Naga basic law and said that that could be incorporated into the Indian constitution, meaning that Naga basic law was supposed to have dealt with issues like the Naga customary laws and Naga traditions and cultural ways of living, etc. Now, apparently, when AK Mishra took over the interlocutorship of as far as the Naga Peace talks was concerned, at least the flag issue did not reflect in the formulation papers, and that was why there was this confusion. Now, that had led to the May 31 National Assembly of the NSC and IM, where the NSC and IM had categorically stated that they are not going to have any solution without the flag and constitution. But let me also put it on record here that even on the earlier occasion when Mr. RN Ravi had made this apparent proposals, even on that occasion, sources say, or rather sources claim, that the NSA and IM had rejected those offers even at that point of time. And now they have only formalized that rejection with that May 31 meeting. Therefore, the Naga talks are clearly at a deadlock at this point in time, and things will move only when the central government or the interlocutor responds to the specific proposal made by the core committee that all the commitments must be put together in one piece of paper as a single draft and reverted back to the NSA and IM for the NSA and IM to respond. At the end of the day, everybody wants that the talk should resume, but for the NSA and IM to go back to New Delhi and start the negotiations, they have to get some kind of a response from the central government, especially after their May 31 unanimous resolution on the flag and constitution. Raunak.
Absolutely. So, Wasbir, this obviously begs the next obvious question. How, according to you, do you think the deadlock can be broken?
Well, you see, after the 31st May NSC and IM National Assembly resolution, which was a very, very clear-cut resolution, which was endorsed by nearly 2,000 of the NSCN leaders and members who were present at Camp Hebron on that occasion. Now, what did the core committee do? The core committee swung into action and had a several hour-long meeting with NEDA convener Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma. In fact, even before the NSA and IM National Assembly session, the core committee had on its own, as well as during talks with the NSA and IM, said that they would like Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, the convener of NEDA and the Chief Minister of Assam, to take a more active role in the Naga negotiations, Naga peace negotiations, in a bid to take the matter to its logical end. So, after the 31st May NSA and IM resolution, they had called a meeting. They had invited Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma. They had given him a full briefing on what had happened, as well as they have briefed him about their 4-day-long meeting in New Delhi in the middle of May, and had urged upon Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma to convey the status and the situation to the central leadership in New Delhi. After that, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma has made one visit to New Delhi, but we are not sure whether he had met any of the central leaders like the Prime Minister or the Union Home Minister, or whether he had raised this issue. But as of now, what we are getting to hear is that the core committee is banking on Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma's good offices to convince the centre to respond to some of the specific proposal made by the core committee as far as bringing together both all the commitments made by the two interlocutors as a single draft formulation and present it to the NSA and IM. Now, after that, we are not clear as to what action has been taken. But yes, there are back and forth communication, back channel communication going on between the core committee and the central leadership, between Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma and the central leadership. But the centre as yet has not responded officially to all of these pleas.
Absolutely. So remains to be seen how the centre actually reacts to this. So Wasbir Hussain, thank you very much for joining us at this point in time and bringing us all of those latest updates.